Welcome back to my channel, Cord Cutting in Sports. This video is just going to go through kind of a brief breakdown of the regular season NFL schedule for the 2023 season and basically show how many games are going to be aired on the various networks or streaming services. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a breakdown of the number of games, each week that are going to be aired on the various channels or services. Then after that, I'm going to have just another chart that's going to have the total number for the entire season that are aired on each channel and service, and in addition, basically the exclusive number of games that are going to be aired on each channel or service. Okay, so here's the first chart. This one basically has the number of games by week that are airing on each channel or service, which I'm using to describe like Amazon Prime or Peacock, ESPN Plus, because those aren't you know TV channels in the traditional sense. And it's basically broken down by the type of by the day and the time of the games. So like you have Sunday afternoon, which are on Fox and CBS, the 1 o'clock and the 4:05, 4:25. Then you have Thursday night football, which is exclusive on Amazon Prime. You got Monday night football, which is going to basically be split between like ESPN and ABC, and some of them also air on ESPN Plus. The NFL Network games. And then there's going to be one exclusive game on Peacock and one exclusive game on ESPN Plus. Now, keep in mind that this is only for the regular season. This is not talking about any postseason, NFL playoff games. So, a couple things to note here. Um, First of all, of course, Sunday Night Football technically also includes two Thursday night games. So, there's the one that opens the season, and there's also another one in week 12. So basically, those weeks there are two games that are going to be airing, on NBC, and that's because and Peacock as well, and that's because week 12 is basically Thanksgiving. So like Thanksgiving, that night game Thursday night is going to be on NBC and technically considered Sunday Night Football, even though it's really on Thursday. And then, so related to that, Amazon Prime, which has Thursday Night Football, its game obviously won't be on Thursday night because I already said NBC is going to have a game then. Instead, its game's going to be on Black Friday, the Friday afterwards, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, for Monday Night Football, this will be a little easier to see or understand on like the next chart, but basically all the games there that I've highlighted in green are going to air on ESPN, but also be available on simulcast on ABC and ESPN Plus as well. So you can see that's basically going to be a total of 5 games. Although a couple things to keep in mind. The Week 17 game is technically Saturday night, not Monday night, and that's basically because it conflicts with like college football around New Year's Day. And also the Week 18 games are not Monday night games. Those are instead going to be Saturday afternoon and evening games, and those basically are not determined. Like because Week 18, the last week of the season, none of the games have times, or days announced. So 2 of them are going to be on Saturday. The rest are going to be on Sunday. And obviously they'll get set later in the season. But the point is, the 2 on Saturday are going to be on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Plus. Now, ABC is also going to have, some games, Monday Night Football games that are not airing on ESPN. Those are the blue ones, highlighted there, and basically those games also are going to air on ESPN Plus. So the main takeaway, again, this will be easier to see on the next page, where I have the exclusive and the total number of games. Basically, all the ABC games are also on ESPN Plus. All of the games that are airing on ABC and ESPN Plus, those are only included or counted in the ESPN row of games here. Okay, so That's what the green designates in the ESPN row, whereas the ABC row indicates games that are on ABC and also ESPN Plus only, and not also on ESPN. And that's just 4 total games. The NFL Network games is pretty straightforward. There's going to be 8 of them total. There's basically going to be 4 of them Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. They're all the international games, so 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Then week 15, there's basically going to be a triple header, so it's going to be probably something like 1, 4:35, 8:15, like something along those lines. Again, the teams for those are not announced. There's like a pool of like 5 games they can pick from that are going to go into that. And then week 16, it's going to be technically a Sunday night game, and that is going to be again, that's basically Christmas Eve. So that week, Christmas Eve is Sunday, so the Sunday night game is technically going to be aired on NFL Network, while the NBC Sunday Night Football game is going to be aired on Saturday afternoon. All right, that's technically December 23rd, and that actually brings me to Peacock. So Peacock is going to have one exclusive game this year. Now, Peacock also does, basically also carries all of NBC's Sunday Night Football games. So, like the 20 games you see up there listed for Sunday Night Football, all of those also appear on Peacock. But again, for this chart to make the total numbers work, I'm just counting, kind of like basically the main provider for or main station service, whatever, that's airing the game. So it's December 23rd, excuse me. It's Bills and Chargers. It is Saturday night, Saturday evening. That game is on Peacock exclusively, whereas the game before that in the afternoon is on NBC and Peacock, and that's technically, considered Sunday Night Football, the afternoon game. But one game on Peacock, Week 16, Bills Chargers, December 23rd, and then ESPN Plus will have one exclusive game, meaning it's ESPN Plus only. Again, it's a 9:30 a.m. International game. It's pretty early week 4 of the season. So this is a summary of sort of meant to be the kind of like not necessarily the number of exclusive games, but an idea of the main channel that is airing each game, broken down by week. And you can see across the bottom there, you have the number of games per week being broadcast. And obviously, the weeks where it is less than 16, that's because various teams are on buys. So normally, 32 teams, 16 games, but here you can see, 14, 15, 13. Okay, there's teams on buys. That's why it's not. That's why it's less than 16. And then going down the total column, over here on the right, this is basically the number of games aired, and kind of like think about it, the various like time slots or the various broadcast windows, so to speak, or by specific channels. So now I have the chart on the screen where it basically has each channel or service, and it shows the number of exclusive games and the number of total games. So when you look at this, okay, CBS is going to, by my estimation, there are 102 total games, assuming like the CBS and Fox, Sunday afternoon games are basically split up, evenly between them. But the reason I have 0 for the exclusive number of exclusive games is because all the games that air on CBS for Sunday afternoon are also streamed via Paramount Plus. So if you subscribe to a streaming service that does not get CBS, or you cannot get CBS via an antenna, you can still watch those games by subscribing to Paramount Plus and watch them that way. So total number of games is 102, but the number of exclusive, meaning you must have the CBS broadcast channel to watch, is 0, because you can watch all of them on Paramount Plus, and of course vice versa. There's none that are exclusive to Paramount Plus. Say on like Peacock, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You could instead of obviously watch all of them on CBS. Now for Fox, all the games that are set to be aired by them are exclusive to the Fox broadcast channel, because Fox does not have their own streaming service. that simulcast their programming similar to like Paramount Plus or Peacock does, for CBS and NBC. So all 102 Fox games are exclusive. You must either watch Fox via an antenna or via the local channel carried by your streaming service. Now, for NBC, here again I have the number of exclusive games at 0 because all of the Sunday Night Football games, all 20 of them, technically are also streamed via Peacock. So if you subscribe to a streaming service that does not carry NBC, like for example Sling in most markets does not carry it, or VidGo, you could instead get, and you can't get NBC via an antenna, you could instead get it via Peacock. You could subscribe to Peacock and you could watch the games that way. There's also the one exclusive game to Peacock, which means that, in total, Peacock will carry 21 NFL games this season. For Amazon Prime, all 16 games can only be viewed via Amazon Prime. Of course, last year they aired them for free via Twitch, either via the app or the web browser. So we're assuming that's going to continue this year, but basically they are exclusive to Amazon Prime or Twitch. There's no other way to watch those 16 games. Now, for the ESPN channels and Monday Night Football, you have basically 13 games that are ESPN exclusive. So that means there are 13 games that are on ESPN only and nothing else. And then you have, but there's 18 total games that will air on ESPN throughout the season. So the 5 other games are basically all simulcast on both ABC and ESPN Plus. So if you think about it, like ABC, okay, so there's 5 that are already also on ESPN, and then the other 4 are the ones that I had in the last chart, which are also basically that are also on ESPN Plus. And then jumping just down to ESPN Plus, we'll come back to NFL Network in a minute. You have again the 5 games that are on both ABC and ESPN. You have the 4 games that are also on ABC, and then you also have the 1 game which is exclusive to ESPN Plus in Week 4, at 9:30 in the morning, an international game. So there's 10 total games on ESPN Plus that you can watch, but only one of them is exclusive to it. And again, same thing with ABC. There's 9 total games that ABC is going to air, but none of them require ABC. They can all be viewed either on ESPN Plus or ESPN, if you don't get ABC or can't get ABC. And now lastly, NFL Network. Again, there's 8 total games that are going to air on NFL Network. They can only be viewed via NFL Network. Again, the only exceptions would be like similar to some of the other streaming or cable exclusive games. They will be aired in the OTA markets of the 2 teams playing in the games, but otherwise, the only way to watch those games is on NFL Network. Now, if you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment below, or you can also send me an email. It's listed there on the screen. Check out my websites where the text versions of my NFL cord cutting guide, college football cord cutting guide are going to be posted. Also have a a DVR streaming service guide up there as well. But otherwise, be on the lookout for more videos related to cord cutting and sports. The NFL, my overall guide will come out soon. College football overall season guide, and other related content as well.